All right, welcome to MindBody Chair Yoga. Got a really interesting class today planned for you, but you're gonna need like a little pillow or like a little like face cloth or like some kind of towel that you could fold up because we're gonna put our head against the wall. It'll just be more comfortable, and we're also going to be putting our knee down on the floor, so that's going to be a little bit more comfortable, and a strap. So I'm just going to put that close to my mat, and we'll see you on the chair. So coming forward in the chair, taking the knees nice and wide, sitting tall, closing the eyes, observing the breath as it flows in and out of the body, allowing yourself to arrive in this moment. So what does that mean? Arrive in this moment. Allowing yourself just to kind of let go of all the things, all the things in the future, all the things in the past, and just being present in this moment, observing the body as it rests here in this seated position. And closing the eyes or just gazing downwards so that you can really bring that internal, attention, like that internal eye, to the sensations in the body, bringing your attention out of the head and down into the body. Breathing in and out, allowing the shoulders to soften, face to soften, maybe scrunch it up, spread it out if that feels good. Same thing with hands and feet, maybe opening and closing the hands, spreading the toes, crunching the toes, and then allowing yourself just to release a little bit of tension you might be holding on there. And then settling on the breath, observing the expansion and contraction. And just noticing the tendency for the mind to wander, bringing it back to the body, and just seeing if you can notice, even just after 5 or 6 or 7 breaths, holding your attention to each breath, just noticing how the body can just settle in. And after years and years of practice, this can happen more quickly. You can notice it. The body can recognize, this is a time for practice, and it can kind of close down shop in the mind and really settle into the body. Hence this practice, yoga, yoking mind and body. All right, we'll bring our hands up to heart center and initiate this practice, this 5,000-year-old practice, traditionally with a unifying Om. As we inhale together, inhaling, opening the eyes, exhale, release. Let's just begin with our shoulder rolls. This is a really great kind of litmus test just to see how things are in the shoulders, at the neck. Excuse me. Breathing in and out. Stretch out that face. All right, let's bring our fingertips up to over our heads. And we've done this stretch, as a part of our new set of stretches. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, bring the fingertips down to the shoulder. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, bring them down to the shoulder. Now, there's another option. You could kind of clasp just the fingers and then draw down. So you can see how when we clasp or create this bit of a bind, we can pull a little bit more. So just being mindful about exploring the limits here, this pulling, and if you're kind of like, yeah, that might be too deep, then stick with the fingertips, otherwise maybe exploring. And like when I'm noticing when my one elbow is up and I'm creating that resistance, I'm getting more of a stretch along the side body here. Could be different for you, seeing as all of our bodies are different. Okay, we're gonna release, stretch up face, roll out shoulders. All right, hands behind the head, inhaling. Exhale, little mini cat-cow just in the upper back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, release them apart. Open the elbows as far away as you can. Bring them in as close as you can, tucking the chin and just exploring this gentle rounding. So specifically, these next few exercises are targeted on the rhomboids. So if you ever got like little knots in the shoulder blades, these are really great. Okay, release the hands down. Just see how you notice, what you notice. Bringing your hands behind your back. I'm just going to move so you can see I'm clasping my fingers. Palms are facing up. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together and lift the heart without letting my ribs. So there's no arch in the back. We're hugging in the ribs. And then slowly move. Like you can push through the wrists to bring the arms just gently away from the back. Any amount. And you can just explore. Little bits of movement, releasing. And then engaging again. And just seeing what you can notice here with the range of motion here. And release. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to bring one arm up and draw one arm down. Palms are facing forward and the same as we sit tall. So try and lift that navel so that we're nice and tall. Crown of the head reaches up and we're just exploring this range of motion. This rotation at the shoulders. Excuse me. And release. Let's get water. Stretch out the face. Okay, here's another new one. Take your left hand just at your neck. So your fingertips are kind of, you can feel the back of your neck and your elbow is pointed forward. Now with your right hand, reach underneath. And if you can get that elbow to get underneath the other elbow, bend it. And then just gently squeeze in toward the body. So we're not twisting, we are squeezing the upper part of the arm into the chest to stretch out the shoulder, especially top of the shoulder. And then you can release and squeeze in on the exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale. When you exhale, allow for any resistance that you might be noticing. Just to melt away as best you can. Never forcing, just exploring what you might discover there. Okay, other side. So taking that hand behind the neck, elbows pointed forward to start. Bring that other elbow underneath. Big breath in, and then squeezing it in. Like I'm kind of having to for some reason on this side, lift my chin a little higher so that I can squeeze my arm in without twisting, but I guess you could move the chin to the right or the left. You are free to explore. And maybe even bring that elbow up and down a little bit. Wow, I like that. So we can release and open and bring up and down. All right. Just check in how you notice or what you notice after that deep shoulder stretch. All right, take those knees nice and wide. We're going to bring our attention downward toward the pelvis, tucking and lifting the tailbone. Let's make sure our shoulders are nice and soft, letting your arms just really be at ease, shifting our attention away from the shoulders there. We did a lot of work there. And just seeing what you notice, either front of the pelvis, back of the pelvis. Maybe you're noticing something at the tops. Just see how this movement can help to just kind of, I don't know, release, jiggle out any tension you might be holding on here. And let's take our hands behind our head and we'll just move into a cat-cow, inhaling, exhaling. And if you're finding like you just want to keep your hands down on the knees today, that's also an option. So opening the chest, when you arch the back, tucking in, opening the shoulder blades as you round the back. All right, coming up to a nice tall spine. Inhale, lift that navel up. Exhale, same side. We're going to dip down and rise up. Feel this right sit bone connecting to the chair so that there is that bilateral stretch along the side body. Inhale up over to the other side. Again, root down the left sit bone actively. Each time we come over to the side, we just explore how we can just micro movement, expanding a little bit more. Inhale up. Okay, reach up. And trace those angel wings back behind you. Stretch out the face. Take your thighs so that they're parallel. Take your right hand to the left knee. Make a salute with your left hand. Inhale, grow tall. Draw the navel back as we round the back and draw your elbow toward the knee. Inhale up, recoil back a little bit in this twist, and then exhaling, navel towards spine, rounding. So, does elbow have to touch the knee? No, just moving in that direction. I'm not going to force anything, but we're just going to explore a little bit of abdominal action as we twist. And again, never forcing, just exploring this spiral movement in the spine. Last one. All the way forward, all the way back. And then exhale, release. Stretch out the face. Switching over to the opposite side, inhale and grow tall. Again, actively draw that navel towards the spine as you round. Elbow toward knee, and inhale, really open the chest, drawing your elbow over to the other side. So nice little thoracic twist here. So that's like our mid back, right? So think about our mid back, where that can sometimes create, problems with tightness or soreness. It's really hard to access. Sometimes I think about all the money I'm saving that I don't have to go get massages all the time to deal with these because we're dealing with them now, right? Okay, last one, forward and back. You're giving your own massage from the inside out with all these terrific movements. Okay, we're going to mimic that same movement, turn to face the chair in our thread the needle. So I just want to do it even before we come into our sun salutation. Bringing your hands down so the shoulders are over the wrists and ankles are under the hips. Okay, let's just do a little cat-cow first. Inhale, lower the belly, lift the head, lift the tail. Exhale, round. Moving between these two shapes. Okay. Come into a neutral spine. We'll take our left fingertip to the left temple. Inhale, rotate, open the heart up towards the sky as you lift that elbow. And then exhale, drawing your elbow either down to the wrist or kind of mid forearm. And then inhale, lifting it up again. And exhale, drawing it down. So similar movement. We've just put our body in a different shape. So exploring abdominals as you come down. They are contracting, and as you lift the elbow, they are expanding. And this elbow is kind of like a little wing. This is gonna be the last one. We'll bring the hand down. Let's just maybe, let's get a little wiggly, a little watery, and we'll move to the other side. So right fingertips to right temple, inhale, lift the elbow, exhale, draw it down. And the standing, your legs can have a little bend in the knee, but try not to bend like too deeply because then that's gonna rob you of your stretch. Last one. And release the hands down. Let's bend the knees and float those arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, push your wrists up towards the sky. So the palms facing up, big breath in. Exhale, maybe lean a little bit to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, lean a little bit to the left. Let's just do that again. It felt so good. Lean your hip over to the side. A little more this time. Inhale, reach up, exhale. Bring those arms down. Circle at the shoulders. Okay, sun salutation, doing it either with hands on the seat of the chair or the back of the chair. Let's fold forward. Soften through the shoulders and we'll sway from side to side. Then we'll pedal the knees forward and back, pedal the pelvis forward and back. Inhale. And then exhale, take your right hand and just reach it down toward the left foot. Any amount. Inhale, return. Exhale, left hand toward the right foot. Inhale, return. We'll just do that one more time on each side. See this little, nice little upper body twist. All right, inhaling, right foot forward, take knee over ankle, float one or both arms up to the sky, press that back heel. Exhale, take the hands down and step back. Inhale, left foot forward, knee over ankle, one or both arms up to the sky. Exhale, taking the hands down and step back. Let's repeat that. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, step back, connect breath with movement. Inhale, left foot forward, float those arms up. Exhale. And step back. Inhale, right foot forward, take that left foot out to the side a little bit. Bend the knee over the ankle. Let's reach up and pull down. Reach up and pull down. As you do this, let's lift the arches of the feet. Press into the back heel. When you reach up, imagine you're pulling something down that's attached to the ceiling. That's actually pretty challenging to pull down. Let's do that one more time. Great, return your hand, turn that back toe forward, and just kind of hop your foot back a couple times so that we can lift and lower that back heel, exploring the stretch in the calf, and then we'll add the front foot. When your back heel goes down, front toes rise up. And we can do this, just make sure there's, your shoulders aren't getting crunchy in any way. If you want to do this with balance in mind, maybe taking one hand to the hip, maybe hovering. Okay, now we just return that foot a little bit closer, make sure we're on our separate tracks. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Forearms to the back of the chair or hands to the chair. Press the right ball of the toe down and draw the right hip back. Now inhale and release. And exhale, pull the right pelvis back. Keep the ball of the right toe connected to the floor. And here is another example of the bilateral stretch where you root down through a body part and you pull back or you stretch out. A different body part, so you've got this really nice big long stretch through the leg. Okay, take the hands back to the chair and we'll come into a forward fold. Come into like maybe just kind of wiggle, pedal, whatever. And we're gonna inhale in this forward fold. Exhale, rising up just a little bit. Lift up both heels. Exhale, come down. So we're just adding a little something here. Rise up, fold down. When you fold forward, slightly bend the knees. When you rise up, we're trying to get up onto the heels. Okay, now we're going to inhale, step that left foot forward, right foot comes out a little bit. Squeeze the thighs and lift the arches of the feet. This time reaching forward and pulling back. Again, reaching forward, like there's something you need to pull back. That's a little bit difficult. You know, the body doesn't know that you're not actually doing that pulling action. So you are going to get benefits when you kind of make the body move in that same way, despite that, you know, this challenge not existing. All right, release that hands down, turn that back toe forward, hop that back foot any amount so that you can explore the stretch in the calf. This front leg is bent any amount. Stretch out the face. And then dropping the heel, lifting the toes at the front. Now, you can come up onto your fingertips. Maybe take one hand to the waist, maybe hover a hand. Maybe both arms out to the side as we do this little teeter-totter, just adding just levels of challenge here. You can take them or leave them. All right, let's bring that back foot forward a little bit. Make sure we're on our two separate tracks. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold forward any amount. Just make sure the spine is long and not rounding in any way. Press the ball of the left toe down. Now draw the left hip away. So back and then return. Exhale, back and return. So for me, I've got a lot of tightness in my IT band. So this is where I am noticing this stretch in a major way. It might be different for you. You still might be feeling this at hamstrings. Maybe it's the right foot that you're feeling this stretch in more. Again, we all have different bodies. We hold our tension in different ways. So just getting curious and exploring this movement. Okay, rise up. Inhale, exhale, final forward fold here. And then inhaling, walking your feet to the back of the chair. Okay. Having that strap and that towel or pillow ready. So we're going to do some work against the wall, two different things. Okay, so I am seeing Jenny, you're right, I forgot, let's do this, let's do the feet before we do the next thing. We're going to take our hands to the back of the chair, we're going to rise up. And then we're going to bend the knees and slide our back down that imaginary wall. We're going to lower the heels and we're going to rise up. So yes, thank you, Jenny. And let's do that one more time. I'm like a little kid, I'm excited because like we're doing different things and I'm like, okay, the next part. All right, let's go to the reverse. Bend the knees, lift the heels, rise up, lower the heels, bend the knees. Yeah, we don't want to miss this one. It's so good for the feet, ankles. And lower down. Great. Okay. Now on to the new stuff. So first of all, we don't need any equipment. we're just gonna be standing in front of the wall. And I know you might need to move, so I'll demonstrate it and then you can move. So bringing both hands up like stop signs, inhale. And exhale, we're gonna take this right hand and just turn and reach and just kind of touch the wall with your fingertips. So you can twist anywhere from the hip, mid-back, shoulders, neck. And if the fingers don't touch, that's okay, just moving in that direction. Maybe though, you could take both hands back and try to get both hands to touch. So you gotta just explore what is feeling okay and making sure that this isn't a forced movement. And it might be that it's just like gradually you get to that point, and now we're just gonna pause, notice the spine, standing mountain. And then we'll move to the other side, inhale. Exhale, let's just start with the arm that goes across to touch and bring it back. Let's just start with one hand. And see where you might be noticing resistance in the twist, breathing in and out. And then if you want to explore, and this does make it deeper, so just being aware of that, taking both fingertips. Now, if you're a little bit crunchy into the wall, just step forward a little bit so that your arms have a little bit more room. Last one. Okay, good. And now we'll come to why we need that little pillow and our strap. So it's going to be a little bit challenging. I'm going to demonstrate first, okay? And my back is going to be turned towards you. So I'm going to take this little pillow head height and just put my forehead on the pillow. Now I have this strap. I'm going to reach my arms up. Take the strap wider than the shoulders for sure. Inhale. Make any little adjustments you need to so that your chin is somewhat parallel to the floor. Big breath in. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, bring the arms up. So you're going to have to explore the width of holding on to the strap. So maybe the first couple times it's pretty wide. And then maybe you take it in a little bit on each end and explore this stretch. So getting really nice stretch front of the shoulders, kind of armpit area, but also just reach the fingers out as you reach your arms up and over and down and back, exploring that's the movement of the scapula and why we might want to do this exercise, why we might want to move the scapula in this way. And then we're going to release and let that go. I think I'm obsessed with the scapula. Like I'm always thinking about my scapula. The scapula, because you know, so much tension can be stored there, and so many problems are born in that part of the body. Okay, we're going to repeat something that we did last week, because I'm going to add something to it in a moment. So either with the support of the chair, so you could be arm's distance, or you could have your hands on your hips, or even bringing your hands to your heart. Feet are hip distance apart, toes are pointed forward. We're going to sink down into that chair pose. So we're going to go pulse, pulse, lift one heel and pause. And you can keep your hands here or reach them out to the side. In a minute, we're going to do a balance pose with this. Pause, pulse, pulse, and then the other side. So we're just warming up our quads here. We're going to repeat that. Pulse, pulse, and lift. Pulse, pulse, and lift. Okay, this time adding balance. Pulse, pulse, lift that navel up towards your heart, and we're gonna come onto one leg. We're gonna hold here just for a few moments, start to feel the activation in the quad. Now, pulse, pulse, lift that navel, and let's do it on the other side. Repeat, pulse, pulse. Hold and breathe. Pulse, pulse over to the other side. Okay. Pause. Now, part two. But before we do part two, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to show you a little stretch in the wrist, just so we can rest our legs for a minute. So, right here in our wrist, especially on your dominant hand, it can get very, very tight in here. So we're going to just like rub this part of the wrist. And then we're going to inhale, and on an exhale, bring the fingertips back and draw your thumb down. And then we're just going to repeat that. So this is my non-dominant hand. So like I'm not noticing that much, but it feels nice. Should just feel nice. Over to the other side. Press into that part on the wrist. And then bring the fingertips back, press down. And here I'm like, okay, like for me, and again, everybody's different. You might notice. And then you can kind of like explore, like kind of do the left side and a little bit to the right. And if you're ever like having to do a lot of work at the computer or a desk, or if you're, doing something that requires your wrist to be like this is a nice counter stretch. Okay, back to the legs. So we'll prep. We're going to come into a standing pigeon, but let's just do a little bit prep for that. So one hand on the chair, just a little bit of a bend in the knees, and we'll circle this outer leg a few times. So that standing leg is strong, but there's a bit of flexibility in the standing leg. Knee, and then switch. And we use a completely set of different muscles to draw the leg around in the other way. Okay, and release. Take that same little bend in the standing leg, turn the leg out, external rotation, turn the knee in, internal rotation. So back and forth, exploring this range of motion. As we do this, lift the navel, soften the shoulders. And I'm just exploring. All right, external rotation. Bring this leg up with a gentle flex as best you can over the knee. And we've got that standing pigeon shape. We're going to sink the hip down on an inhale, and exhale, rise up. Sink the hip down. Maybe exploring a deeper sinking of the hips. Okay, and now we're going to add pulse, pulse, balance. So we're going to inhale, inhale, balance. Maybe arms are out, maybe at the heart. This is a little bit, feels a little more secure to me. This is a little bit more challenging when I come like this. I feel like I really got to engage the core, lift the navel. Same with the arms out, but we're really exploring weight bearing on this one leg. Now we're going to release. Flex up and release. Shake that up. Growing tall, a little bit of softness in the knees and lifting that navel up towards the heart. Circling around. Then changing direction. Great. I'm going to stand. And then again, that little bit of softness in the knees, but really strong leg, external rotation and internal rotation. If you want to add balance, take your hand to the waist. Let's keep lifting the navel up, shoulders soft. Get curious. Okay, we're on this external rotation, standing leg is solid. We're going to take this slightly flexed foot over the knee, and you can start with hand on the chair or bring it to the hip. One side might be different than the other, and then pulse and rise. Because we're just exploring the stretch first. We'll do strengthening in a minute, even though this feels like strengthening at the same time. Okay, so now the hip is like stretched out. So we'll do pulse, pulse, balance. Here we go. Pulse, pulse, and balance. Let's do it again. Pulse, pulse, and maybe balance, hands at the heart center. Let's do it one more time, and we'll hold it a little longer. Pulse and balance, holding and breathing. So this is our strengthening. This is weight bearing. A little bit of cardio. It's exploring and then release and let it go. Nice work. Okay, I'm gonna move this chair out of the way. I'm gonna come against the wall once again. It's a wall kind of day. And we're gonna bring our legs up the wall. So, taking your hips really close to the wall, then lying down. So like your whole body is against their side of the body is against the wall, and then bringing your legs up and turning. And feet are extended up. Your arms can be anywhere at your sides. Tuck your shoulder blades under so that they are comfortable. And if you have that little folded up blanket or that little pillow and you want to take it under the head, you can explore that as long as it's not like too lifted. Okay, this should be like a flat pillow. Okay, both legs are up. We're going to take our left leg and we're just going to bend the knee, bring the foot down, and then lift it back up. So I'm just kind of sliding it up and down against the wall. I'm gonna have to wash this wall when I'm done. Oh well. So just lifting and lowering that foot. So we're just flossing here. Back the leg, the nerves. Particularly good for treating or preventing sciatica. Okay. Bring the foot down. And you guessed it, we're going to take the ankle above the knee, so closer to the hip, flexing that left foot, and then take your left hand on the left knee and just gently kind of push it away any amount. So both feet can have a little bit of a flex, and so here we are in pigeon against the wall. Breathing in and out. And depending, like you can push the knee away and allow it to release, push it away. And release, and we'll move to the other side. So right leg now, we're just bending and straightening the leg, sliding the foot up and down the wall. Flossing. And just letting the other leg kind of rest against the wall, doesn't have to do anything. All right, we're gonna bend the knee, take your right foot above the knee, closer to the hip with a gentle flex, here we are in our pigeon. Take your right hand to the right knee and just any amount, just explore pushing that knee away from the body. Extending the arm. Yeah, okay, good. Just exploring like little movement, inhale, exhale, like a little press, a little release. And then we're gonna let go and bring the feet back up the wall again. So you might need to realign the spine, you might need to tuck the shoulders under again. Okay, now take the feet out a little bit. And start to bend the knees as if we're coming into happy baby. But we're gonna keep the feet leaning against the wall and just let the knees, these bent knees, just draw out to the side any amount. Now, being careful not to go too deep too fast. You can take your hands on these knees and just gently on the exhale, push just like hardly anything. Just an exploration of just drawing the knees slightly more away from each other and then release and let them kind of come back and then draw them slightly away. So we're just kind of coming at this stretch slightly different angle because our feet are supported by the wall. Really connecting breath with movement, and then maybe even positioning the feet on the wall a little bit differently once you've had that initial stretch, maybe a shock when we have our legs open in this happy baby shape. Just breathing in and out. And then slowly bring the feet together into that cobbler's shape. And again, the feet don't have to touch, it's moving together. And so we're still getting a stretch here at the leg joint. Feet are supported by the wall. We can do the same thing with the knees. Just gently draw away and then just let it come back. Inhale, exhale, push away. And then just release and let the knees come back. And it's just like a micro movement, like maybe it hardly looks like you're moving at all, but we're just gently, and if you're like, wow, this is super tight, then I want you to just really back off, make it easy, okay? And I'd love it if you can give me feedback later how these stretches against the wall, how that landed with you. All right, let's bring those knees together. We'll extend the legs up to the sky again. Maybe just like shake the knees a little bit. Just let the feet extend up. Breathing in and out. Like we can observe and notice that stretch on the inside of the legs. And this is where, having a yoga practice, that we've had for so many years, you know about exploring your boundaries without going beyond them. And sometimes you might, and then, that just provides you information, right? So just observing, just letting those feet stay extended up to the sky. Let's just squeeze and spread the toes, stretch up the face. Point and flex the feet. And then we'll just roll over onto our sides. And come on to our back. So once you're on your back and away from the wall, tucking those shoulders under, we'll take the feet as wide as your, actually no, we'll take the feet so that the legs are parallel. We're going to take your right foot over the left knee. Arms can just be out at the sides. We're gonna let your knees fall to the right. Inhale them back to center and let your knees fall to the left. And then back to center. Fall to the right. Back to center, fall to the left. All right, now this time, let them fall to the right as best you can. And you might find that this is very challenging with the leg on the knee. You can always remove your foot off the knee and have both knees just drop down to one side. You explore that with the breath. Now with your right hand, so take your left hand kind of down at your side, with your right hand, inhale. And then exhale, reach the right arm over just to tap the left side of the floor. Inhale, open it up, and exhale, sweep it over the head, reaching just with your fingertips to tap the other side of the floor. And if it doesn't quite reach there, that's okay, just moving it in that direction. And on the next time you exhale and bring it over, let the arm pause, take your other arm like we did in our warm-up, elbow, bend that elbow and squeeze the arm into the chest. Keep your head neutral. I hope that's making sense. Then nice and easy, we're going to release. Take your knees up. Realign the spine. Left foot over right knee. Inhale. Exhale, knees drop to the left. Inhale up. Knees drop to the right. Inhale, repeat both sides. Get curious about what you're noticing. Take your knees back up and over to the left. And pausing here, finding that optimal position for the feet. You can keep the foot on the knee or you can release it. So we're in that kind of lower body twist. Kind of bring your right arm in. Take your left arm out to the side, inhale. Exhale, trace a rainbow over your head, reaching just to tap the arm, tap the floor on the other side, opposite side. Inhale, trace that rainbow back. Exhale, trace it forward. So getting curious about this arm movement. What do you notice as you reach and get long? And this last time we reach it over, hold, and you could just take the hand, and maybe that's better lying down. Take the hand on the upper arm and gently squeeze that arm into the chest. Now soften through the hips. Make sure the chin is just gently tucked. Explore this stretch. If your body is like, this feels really weird and uncomfortable, then find a different shape. Move the arm a little bit one way or another and see if it's better. And now we're going to release. Bring both knees up. Realign the spine, hug in. Maybe bring forehead to knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach out like a starfish. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, squeeze in. As best you can. Inhale, reach out. And exhale. Squeeze in. Release. Let your feet either extend down, feet fall to the side, or you can have bent knees. Tuck your shoulder blades under, turn the palms up. Maybe stretch out the face, squeeze and spread the toes, open and close the hands a bit. Big breath in, big breath out. And then returning to the breath. Observing the breath within the body. Maintaining this mind-body connection, so that means your attention, your focus is at the body in this moment. And so there's many parts of our body, right? So the breath is very accessible. We can observe the breath because it's dynamic. It expands the body on the inhale. Contracts the body on the exhale. And notice the pull of the mind, either toward thinking, future thoughts, or thinking about past. And coming back to this moment, observing the breath. The thoughts might also be in the present moment, but sometimes it might have like a negative charge. So if you're noticing any negative thoughts or criticism, just seeing if it's possible, just like to turn the volume down on that. Or like imagine that voice is just getting farther and farther and farther away. And filling in that spot, because that will now create a void, filling in that spot with friendliness, compassion, maybe a positive mantra, maybe even just a neutral mantra like, I'm doing the best I can. Observation in the body, like my body feels good. Or maybe there's something going on in the body. Maybe there's an ache or a pain that's really got your attention. Breathing into that part of the body, breathing out and inviting release. And you can just remind yourself, pain does not define me. You can isolate this, give it lots of space. Breathe in and out. And apply lots of kindness toward any discomfort, whether that's a physical discomfort, emotional or mental discomfort. It's bringing friendliness toward it, reminding yourself that it does not define you. It is not forever. Just like the breath, these things, they come and they go. Just like the weather can change, but you remain the same. Nice and easy. We'll bring some movement into the feet, into the hands, and into the face. You can circle the wrists, circle the ankles. And if it feels good to you, inhale, arms up overhead for a gentle full body stretch. Ah. Oh. Exhale, release. It's allowing for a bit of surrender here. Sense into gravity. And then when you're ready, bringing the limbs in a little closer to the body, almost giving yourself a little hug, roll over to one side. And then shifting, moving back. And you can stay on the floor or you can move to the chair if that's more comfortable. Listening to yourself. You know, the legs out, they can be bent. There's no rules here. The only rule is just be comfortable. So wherever you choose to sit, sitting tall, letting the shoulders be soft. Maybe stretch out the face, roll out the shoulders. Observe the breath. Let's bring our hands up to heart center. Let's just bring copious amounts of kindness towards yourself. And then thank yourself, really and truly thank yourself for taking care of yourself in this way, being open to exploring these movements, these shapes, these ways to be with body and mind. And we'll seal in with a unifying Om as we inhale together. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. And we'll see you soon.